Hi folks, this is HisDad. Welcome back to the bar. And today I'm going to talk about some bourbons that I'm not going to put back in the bar ever again. And there's different reasons. Sometimes it's price, sometimes it's availability, sometimes it's flavor profile, sometimes it's all three. Today, mostly for me, we're just going to talk about flavor profile, okay? All right, so in these, either the front is just hitting me with just a weird note, or it's a long finish that ends up being something that I just want to get out of my mouth right away, okay? And on different bourbons that you taste, like I'm not a big Ezra Brooks fan, but if you get into 10 years, it's great. But if any of you guys know that feeling, that regret that you instantly get when it hits your mouth, to me, that's a Scotch or an IPA. But then there's people in this world that really like those. But some of you are like me, so I'm going to show you some of those bourbons that we're just, once they're done, they're done. Okay, it's a one and done kind of situation. All right, so I'm going to reach down, and none of these are in particular order. It's just what hits me first and which I feel like, grabbing. So let's go down here and start off with something here. All right, so, and in this one here, I want to point out that it's not necessarily this bourbon in particular as this class. The great state of Texas is really going to hate me on this one, but I'm not a particular fan of Texas bourbons. For some reason, they're not yummy to me. They don't hit me in a profile that I enjoy. And so for that reason, I'm going to put it on here, Texas bourbons, okay? This one here, I was really excited. The guys down at Total Wine, they horsed me in. I mean, it had handwriting on it, small batch, told me the number, told me the bottle number. This is 694. The guy just got me all the way around. And one shot in, or not shot, but one tasting in, and I just knew I was not going to be a fan of this one. It comes in at 95 proof. And like I said, man, it looks like a giant pot still. And if you don't understand historical bourbon making, pot still is a copper still. It has to be cleaned after each use. And usually what ends up happening is you have a lower proof with a lot more flavor. And some of those flavors, if they burn the batch, if they just cooked it too hot or too long, you get these weird notes that they're not appealing to anybody. And all the charred barrel in the world isn't going to fix that. So you'll find a lot of your pot stills are secondary finished to try and relieve some of the pain and suffering that you get from that. But column still just seems to put out a higher proof with a few less notes, but some of those notes you didn't want. So anyway, we're going to put Texas bourbons here, okay? All right. Number 2, staying in line with the famous Texan. Most things by the Wild Turkey line I like. This is a beautiful bottle. Wild Turkey is a fantastic company that understands that along with bourbon, you get things like cologne. There's a certain profile of man that likes his bourbon, likes his cologne, maybe likes a cigar. And this might be for that person. It's such a profile that hits me so harsh that I had one tasting and I said, wow, that's just too off for me. So I just couldn't get through it. And for me, I believe it was the finish. And for me, the finish is the last thing that hits you, and it tells you whether or not you want to go back for seconds. And for me, as you can tell, the answer was no. Okay, so number 2, Long Branch. Number 3, and they're not going to be so exciting. This is from the company that I get a lot of my bourbons out of that I don't have around me, Flaver. If you know this company and I'm pronouncing that, let me know in the comments. But this is Breckenridge. It's out of Colorado. I don't care for it. it just, they call it the reserve blend, and I don't know what the other one was, but if this is the reserve blend, then I believe that they should just reserve them all. They say it's made from the waters of Colorado. Apparently, I don't want to drink the water up in Colorado. No, I mean, I don't want to offend anybody from Colorado. I don't. This is not a reach out and offend somebody moment. I just don't like it. Now, some of you might. So, I tried it and I tried it again because it's, of these two, it's the third, I mean, the least offensive. So, all right, let's dive in and do a dull one. Henry McKenna did a 10-year. It won all kinds of stuff like the Ascot Awards, and some people who are a lot smarter than I am decided that it was Bourbon of the Year. I don't want to pay $100 for a single barrel and then find out that the barrel I got wasn't quite as good as the barrel that won the Bourbon of the Year, which I really think that they shouldn't do single barrels because, well, if it's not an equal representative of what everyone's going to get, then maybe you shouldn't put it out there. This, to me, was awful. I mean, like, the barrel had gone bad. The neck still has so much more to give in there. It just, to me, this is like what you would get if you got a really, really, really cheap $9 bottle of bourbon that said it was aged at least 3 months. There you go. All right, so number 5 on the list. This is another bottle given to me by my bourbon company, or not bourbon, but spirit sampling company, Flavor. This is Jefferson's. This is not Oceans or anything like this. This is just their Jefferson's line. And this has a forward funkiness to it. It has an aftertaste funkiness to it. This just, when it hits my palate, I'm done. I can't do it. I got 2 bottles of this one. I got 2 bottles of this one. The same company that gave me Breckenridge gave me these 2. And I have 2 of each because they just love me that much. Okay, so this is the last one, folks. And kind of like the Texas bourbon, this is not so much the rye, so much as the overall company profile. So when I say that company profile, flavor profile, I want you to think about Wild Turkey. I want you to think about Buffalo Trace. A lot of these companies, they have fantastic flavor profiles that when you know them, you know them. Whistle Pig, I wanted so desperately to be so grown up and be one of Dave's followers. He was still alive and challenging people's views on bourbons and ryes when I came across this. Sadly to say, I have not found anything outside of the Whistle Pig 10-year that I find appealing. There's just something about the process of their barreling that I think beats it up to the point where I don't enjoy it. We are who we are. And this one is about which bottles are not going to be replaced on my bar when they finally give up the ghost. These will probably be on my bar forever. This one, I will put it in mixed drinks. This one here, I will try and find somebody who will allow me to put this in mixed drinks. And the others are what they are. Maybe somebody will come, like them, and take them off my hands and trade me something that comparable. But anyway, I love you. Take care of yourself until the next video. This is HisDad saying bye now.